you focus so much on the food, right? The food aspect of it, and medicine as a byproduct of food, right? Like it's in the background, but the food is the real medicine. So tell me, when we're in those foundational years, we know parents who will say, नहीं बच्चे को 2 साल तक मिर्ची नहीं दी, 3 साल, or there is separate food that is being cooked for the child 2 years, 3 years, or we don't even know how long the mirchi is eliminated. And there is so much of external influence, that we're eliminating a lot of our Indian herbs, like spices like the hing or the ghee or the jeera and all of that. Tell me essential spices that should be added to the child's meal within the first 18 months to 24 months.
Cumin, turmeric, hing, ghee, and namak.
Right.
5 essential that should always be there over and above everything.
Right. Salt for one?
Salt, yeah. Well, of course. So the whole salt concept actually originated in a place where children were given bottled food, which contains sodium benzoate or sodium phosphate as a preservative.
Okay.
We don't do that in India. How many Indian mums are giving bottled jar foods to babies?
I can't remember.
How many of us pre-cook our meals with a preservative and then give it to the child? So why should we be afraid of sodium? We should put sodium is an essential component of entire digestive tract and for the nerves and muscles. If you don't give sodium, then there are problems. But the sodium should be such, it should be a mix of different salts. So not just iodized salt, but a mix of sea salt, sometimes pink salt, sometimes Himalayan salt, sometimes the sea, whatever, rock salt or whatever. You taste the food. It shouldn't taste too salty, it shouldn't taste too bland, it should taste just right. You have to like it and then feed the child. If you're going to make separate food for the child, which is blandish, devoid of spices, good kind of spices, and expect the child to eat, it is everybody's guess what's going to happen.
Right.
So, and I'm a very proud homeopath. But before homeopathy or any other field of medicine came into existence, there was only food as medicine, right? We must never ignore that. The reason I talk about food, even though I'm not a qualified nutritionist, is only because food is truly medicine.
Right. And about the spices, the mirchi in the food, does that?
So mirchi in the food depends on your, your cultural this thing. I used to have in the first, when my daughter was less than a year old, I used to have a Hyderabadi nanny work for me, and she would insist, "Aap mirchi do," and I'd be like, "I don't eat mirchi, so how can I give my child mirchi?" She said, "हमारे यहाँ हैदराबाद में वो 9 महीने का बच्चा को हम मिर्ची का चटनी खिलाते." Now, culturally, they are programmed to eat that kind of mirchi because it is so hot there. And it also makes them drink water when they have that mirchi. Or it gives them that strength because it is rajas. Rajas is important for activity, right? So culturally, what is acceptable, you should do. But in my opinion, by the time the child is between 15 and 18 months old, you should let the child integrate to eat what you are eating. With mirchi, with masala, with however it is cooked.
Right.
This is how it should be. No separate food after between 15 and 18 months, you should transition them. That's what I did. And I think it worked brilliantly because before that they were eating pureed food. And then suddenly they started eating roti and sabzi. Right. Of course, made into small bites and softened and all of that. But yeah.
Right.